All right, everyone, welcome back. Today we're going deep on a story of resilience, a story of turning setbacks into opportunities, a story with lessons for all of us.
Yeah, definitely. Lots to learn from this one.
The story of Mr. Perseverance. We've got excerpts from his autobiography, and, we're going to call this a deep dive for a reason.
Deep dive is right.
So to set the stage, the book opens with his early life, and right away you see those seeds of perseverance. He comes from a great family, super supportive dad, was a hardworking sales manager. Mom, former nurse, siblings were all high achievers.
A real go-getter family.
You'd think, okay, this guy's got it made, smooth sailing, right?
You'd think so, but, well, not quite.
Not quite. Turns out he struggled in school, academics just didn't click for him.
Yeah, didn't come easy.
But here's where things get interesting. He finds his stride in sports like cricket, soccer, and then squash.
Ah, squash.
Yeah.
That becomes his thing.
And there's this moment, this real turning point he describes. A squash coach basically writes him off, tells him, flat out, with that weak backhand, you'll never make it to first grade.
Ouch.
Talk about tough love, right?
Yeah, tough for sure.
But here's the thing. He doesn't let that criticism crush him.
Yeah.
Instead, he uses it as fuel. Spends hours, days, weeks honing that backhand until it's a weapon.
Wow.
And guess what? Not only does he make it to first grade, but he ends up on this incredibly successful team.
No kidding.
They competed in 8 grand finals and won 5 of them. Talk about proving the doubters wrong.
That's incredible. What a story.
And that theme, turning skepticism into motivation, it pops up again and again throughout his life.
Like a superpower he developed early on.
Exactly. Take, for example, the time he decides to take over the management of this struggling council swimming pool.
Oh, I remember this. This is a good one.
People thought he was nuts, you know? Pool was a mess, losing money, nobody thought he could turn it around.
Yeah, it was in rough shape.
But, and here's the key, he didn't just have this blind optimism. He had a strategy.
A plan.
He understood marketing. He knew he had to change how people saw the pool, make it the place to be.
Smart.
But he didn't just stop there. He overhauled everything. Operations, customer service. He built a real community around the pool.
Wow.
It's like a masterclass in combining vision with, actually getting things done.
Totally. Yeah.
And the results, well, they speak for themselves.
I bet they do.
In 4 years, he took that pool from being valued at like $320,000 to $2.5 million.
You're kidding. No way.
No way. I mean, the grit, the business savvy.
Unbelievable.
But hold on, because just when it seems like, Mr. Perseverance is on this rocket ride, life throws him a curveball.
Whoa.
A council decision forces him to give up control of the pool.
What? Seriously?
And this triggers this, domino effect. He loses the business, his house, even his family.
That's rough.
It's tough. It's a real reminder that even the most driven people can get knocked down by forces outside their control.
Right. Absolutely. Life could be unpredictable.
But, and here's where I think the real power of his story lies, it's how you respond to those setbacks that defines you.
You got that right.
Anyone can succeed when things are good, right?
Yeah.
But it's what you do when you get knocked down that really matters.
It's about getting back up.
Exactly. Yeah. And Mr. Perseverance, well, he gets back up in a big way.
Can't wait to hear about this.
Oh, it's good. It's good. Instead of dwelling on what he lost, he decides to reinvent himself, to take a totally new path.
Wow, that's bold.
This is where things get really interesting, especially for anyone out there who thinks, oh, it's too late for me to change careers,
Yeah, I know that feeling.
So get this. This guy who spent years in sports and recreation suddenly decides to dive headfirst into, wait for it, software development.
Software development. Seriously.
Seriously. And here's the kicker. 0, and I mean 0 formal background in IT.
No way.
No way. But he had this idea for safety management software, saw a real need for it, and instead of letting his lack of experience stop him, he found a way.
So how'd he do it?
You are not going to believe this. His initial version of the software, built using, get this, 385 interconnected Excel spreadsheets.
385.
Yeah.
You're messing with me.
385. I mean, I can barely handle one spreadsheet. It is mind-boggling. But it shows you, right? Resourcefulness, pure ingenuity.
Wow, that's amazing.
This wasn't some tech whiz. This was pure determination, you know?
That's incredible.
And it's so inspiring because it reminds you that sometimes you got to get scrappy. You got to be willing to learn, to adapt, to step outside your comfort zone.
Totally.
And his efforts, well, they paid off big time.
Yeah.
He turned those spreadsheets into this sophisticated software platform, online WHS, and it became this leading safety management tool all over Australia.
That's amazing. What a story.
Built a tech company from scratch, armed with nothing but grit and a mountain of spreadsheets.
Wow. Just wow.
But, and there's always a but, right? We haven't even touched on the massive health challenges he was facing during all of this.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Oh, yeah, we're getting to that. And let me tell you, it's another layer of incredible to this already amazing story.
Can't wait to hear it.
So we've got this guy building a tech company from scratch, no training, using hundreds of spreadsheets. It's already pretty mind-blowing, right?
Yeah, that's wild.
But imagine doing all of that while battling a serious, like really serious health condition.
Oh, man.
That's exactly what Mr. Perseverance was up against.
Really?
He was dealing with this hereditary disease, and it required him to go through dialysis like 5 times a day.
5 times? You serious?
5 times a day. Just let that sink in for a second.
Wow, that's intense.
I mean, that's practically a full-time job in itself, right?
Yeah.
How do you even function, let alone build a business?
I know. It's hard to imagine.
And he was traveling all over the country for this business. It's incredible.
Yeah. How did you even do it?
It really is. And here's the thing. He didn't just manage, he thrived.
No.
He was determined to make this software work, and nothing, not even this grueling medical routine, was going to stop him.
That's some serious willpower.
There's this crazy story in the book where he talks about doing dialysis in airport bathrooms.
Airport bathrooms? No way.
While he's traveling for business meetings.
That's dedication.
Talk about dedication.
Seriously.
Right. It's like, it shows you, you know, sometimes you got to get creative. You got to work with what you've got and turn it into an opportunity.
Yeah, make the best of it.
It's like he was saying, okay, this is my challenge. How can I make it work? And that's a mindset we can all learn from, isn't it?
Totally.
Whether it's health, lack of resources, whatever, it's about finding a way.
Absolutely.
So Mr. Perseverance, he's got this incredible drive, but his story, it doesn't end there.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, yeah. In 2012, he gets a kidney transplant. Life-saving, right? You'd think that would be the end of the struggles.
You think so, yeah.
But, well, life. It's always got something up its sleeve.
Uh-oh, what happened?
The transplant brought a whole new set of challenges, you know, side effects from the medication, multiple surgeries for skin cancer.
Skin cancer.
That's awful. Over 250 stitches he had to deal with.
Oh, wow. That's rough.
But even through all of that, he kept building his business, mentoring others, giving back to his community.
It's unreal, the level of
I
resilience.
know, right? Makes you question your own excuses, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely puts things in perspective.
And that's why we're doing this deep dive, because it's not just about these extraordinary things he did. It's about the lessons we can all learn.
Yeah, the takeaways.
So let's get into those, shall we? What are the key things we can take away from Mr. Perseverance's journey?
All right, so throughout his story, there are these themes, these principles. I think they apply to everyone, you know.
Okay, I like where this is going.
We can call them like the 5 pillars of perseverance.
The 5 pillars. I'm intrigued.
Okay, so pillar number 1, and this is probably the most important one, is embracing resilience.
Resilience, yeah, that makes sense.
And I'm not just talking about bouncing back. It's about using those setbacks as fuel, you know.
So like Mr. Perseverance with the squash coach, right? He didn't let that comment get him down. He used it to get better.
Exactly. Think about a time when someone told you, you can't do that, or you hit a wall. What did you do?
Yeah, good point.
Did you let it defeat you, or did you turn it into an opportunity? That's resilience.
It's about changing your perspective.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of seeing it as a failure, seeing it as a chance to learn.
Exactly.
Okay, so I've embraced the setback. I'm ready to move on, but I'm feeling stuck. What then?
That's where innovation comes in.
Innovation, yeah.
And it doesn't have to be some big revolutionary thing. Sometimes it's the small changes that make a difference.
Like Mr. Perseverance and his spreadsheets, right?
Yeah. Not glamorous, but innovative.
So instead of getting overwhelmed, ask yourself, what resources do I have? How can I use them differently? What are the unconventional approaches?
Exactly. Don't be afraid to learn new things, experiment. You might surprise yourself.
Okay, that's helpful. But what about when you feel alone, like you're the only one struggling?
Phil clearly thought he could, and he proved it over and over.
So inspiring. But we can't forget there's still that chapter with the betrayal and the birth of Reverse Network.
Ah, yes. That's where we see his entrepreneurial spirit really shine, turning that negative into a
A
positive.
major comeback story.
You could say that. So he's put everything into building online WHS,
And then boom, it's snatched away.
a real blow. But remember, this is Phil. He doesn't stay down for long.
No way. From his talks, it sounds like he immediately teamed up with Justin Harold.
Mm-hmm. And they launched Reverse Network.
Which is, by the way, on track to be a huge success.
Proof that he took that setback and turned it into something even bigger.
Almost like, I'll show you kind of thing.
Exactly. And
Well,
that's resilience in action. But it highlights something else, too.
what's that?
Even after being burned, he still chose to collaborate, to trust another partner.
So he didn't let that one bad experience make him wary of partnership?
No, because he understood that collaboration, when it works, can be incredible.
I wonder what was special about Reverse Network that made it take off like that.
I think it comes down to Phil's ability to learn from experience. Reverse Network was in a different space.
Right. But he used what he'd learned from building online WHS.
Took what worked, left behind what didn't, and created something even better.
So not just starting over, but leveling up.
Exactly. And that's a powerful lesson. Setbacks happen, but they don't have to define us.
They can be fuel for growth, right?
Absolutely. It's all about perspective. Instead of seeing them as failures
See them as chances to learn.
and come out stronger on the other side. But what's truly striking about Phil,
It's that optimism, isn't it?
it is, he goes through so much, but never seems to lose that hope.
That things will work out.
That's something we can all learn from. Staying positive, even when it's tough.
Like an inner compass that keeps pointing you towards the light.
I love that analogy. And that's why his story resonates so much.
It reminds us that we all have that power to choose how we respond to challenges.
We can give up, or we can rise above, learn, adapt, and keep moving forward, believing in ourselves.
That's a powerful message, especially these days when there's so much negativity.
It's easy to get caught up in that and forget our own strength.
So as we wrap up our deep dive on Mr. Perseverance, what's the one thing you want listeners to walk away with?
I want them to be inspired by Phil's journey, by his belief in himself, and how he turned obstacles into opportunities.
His story shows that we all have that potential to achieve amazing things.
If we're willing to embrace challenges, learn from our setbacks, and never give up on ourselves.
Beautifully said. And while we might not all face the same level of adversity,
We all have our own mountains to climb.
but Phil's story proves that with the right mindset, anything is possible. The remarkable journey of Phil Bamford. We hope this deep dive into his world has left you feeling inspired, motivated, and ready to tackle whatever challenges come your way. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing those boundaries.